Hello, Mr. Thompson here. I'm here to talk to you today about some Grade D going into Grade C at GCSE or Level 6/7 at Key Stage 3. And the topic we're going to be talking about today is multiplying fractions. So, the first thing we're going to do is take a look at a very simple example. So, here it is here. We have 1/2 multiplied by 1/3. Now the first thing you need to realise is that in maths, times, that actually means of. Okay, so 1/2 times 1/3 actually means 1/2 of a third. So if we have a look over here at this circle I've drawn, and I've divided it roughly up into thirds, 1, 2, 3 equal parts. So if I'm looking for a half of a third, one of these parts here, one of these sectors of the circle, represents a third, and we want to find half of that third. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split one of my thirds up, and I'm going to cut it in half. So we're actually looking to find what this bit here is that I've just shaded in there. Okay, so the way we do that, coming back to our question, 1/2 of a third, 1/2 times a third, when we multiply numbers together, fractions together, let's do that in black. So I've got 1/2, and I am multiplying that by 1/3. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, we multiply the top numbers together, so 1 times 1 in this case, the numerators together. So we do 1 multiplied by 1, and then over here I'm going to do my 2 times the 3, the red one times the pink one. So that becomes 2 times 3. Okay, so then it's simply a case of doing 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 3 is 6. So the answer to 1/2 times 1/3 is 1/6. So that's actually what this yellow shaded bit here is. It's 1/6. Now, that is, if you can do that, that's Grade D or Level 6. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go on and have a look at a Grade C or Level 7 example. Okay, so if we have a look at this question here, we are multiplying two mixed number fractions together. That means it has a whole number part. For this first mixed number fraction here, the whole number part is 1, and it has a fractional part, which in this case is a half. Again, on the second fraction, the whole number part is the 2, and the fraction part is 3/4. This is Grade C or Level 7 work. The first thing I would suggest you do is you take the fractions individually. So, just for the time being, we are just going to look at this 1/2. Now, at the minute, the mixed number fraction is going to cause us a little bit of a problem when we're multiplying fractions together. So what we want to do is we want to convert this 1/2 into an improper fraction. Now, if you remember, an improper fraction is where the numerator, that's the top number, is equal to or larger than the denominator. So, if we have a look at 1/2, what this means is that we have one whole. Now, one whole can be represented as 2 full halves. If you think of a circle divided into halves, that's one whole divided into halves. We actually have 2 halves. So, the one whole bit is 2 halves, and to that we are adding this half here. Now we know from our previous work on adding fractions that we can add fractions when the denominators are the same. So that actually becomes 2 plus 1 is 3, and we are multiplying that, we are putting that over a common denominator of 2. Okay, so for the time being we have converted 1.5, a mixed number fraction, into an improper fraction where the numerator is 3 and the denominator is 2. Let's use a different colour now to do this fraction here. So we have 2 wholes. So in 2 wholes, let's go over here, that's 2 wholes, and we're going to split each of these up into quarters. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters on this one, and 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters on this one. In total, this whole part, this 2, gives us 8 quarters. And we need to add to that the fraction part, 3 quarters. And now we have these written over a common denominator. 8 plus 3 gives me 11, and we are looking at quarters there. If you also notice, a bit of a shortcut to do this, if we multiply, for this first fraction in blue, if we multiply the denominator 2 by 1, that's 2, and then we add 1, that's 3. And then the denominator stays the same as 2. We can do that over here as well. 2 times 4 gives me 8. 8 plus 3 gives me 11, and the denominator stays as a 4, so we've got 11 over 4. Once we've done that, what we can do is we can very simply just multiply them together as we were doing before. So 3 times 11 gives me 33, and 2 times 4 gives me 8. Sorry, I've done that wrong there. Let me see if I can rub that out just to show the workings. That's 2 times 4 there, which gives me 2 times 4 gives me 8. Okay, we're not quite done there yet, as this is an improper fraction. Remember, the numerator here is bigger than the denominator. So what we need to ask ourselves is how many whole lots of 8 go into 33. Remember, a fraction is a division that is yet to be completed. So 33, this means 33 divided by 8. How many whole 8s go into 33? So we have 4 whole 8s, and with this 4 whole 8s we can find out how many 8s that comes to in total by doing 4 times 8. That gives me 32. So 33 take away 32 leaves us with 1/8 left. Okay, so we have now multiplied 1.5 times 2 3/4. We have got the improper fraction of 33/8, and then we have turned that improper fraction back into a mixed number fraction with the answer of 4 1/8. Sometimes you will need to simplify these answers, not in all cases, but sometimes you will. Okay, I hope that's been of use. Until next time, see you later.